What's going on, everybody? It's DC Trades here, and today I'm going to be making a video on how to trade supply and demand. And I'm going to be looking at a few pairs and just drawing up my zones and then explaining which zones are good and a few things that I look at when I determine my supply and demand, or how I determine where or when to take trades. So right now I am looking at I'm looking at QQQ on the daily. So the first thing that I do is I start off with my higher time frame. I look at multiple time frames. I look at 3 different time frames. I start off with my higher time frame. I have an intermediate time frame and my smaller time frame. So in the higher time frame, I just got like the bigger picture of what price is telling me and what price is doing. And then intermediate time frame, I just determine the trend, and then in the smaller time frame, I look for an actionable trade opportunity. So I'm starting off with my higher time frame, the daily. I first determine trend on the higher time frame. So on the higher time frame, we are in an uptrend. We have a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then this is expected to be the higher low. We don't have a higher low until we break through this high, but as of right now we have internal structure. So this is the major low, this is the major high, and anything in between is just internal structure, right? But this is expected to be the new higher low, but this higher low isn't confirmed until we break through the high. But anyways, let's go back to the candlesticks. We have our demand level right here. So what I do is I look at most recent price action. I go down to the lowest on the recent price candlestick, and then I look left, and there's no demand, and then boom, here's our demand level. This is gonna be our daily demand level, and we already came into this demand level and hit, and then I go up and then look left for supply, and there's nothing. But we do have this little supply zone, which we have actually respected because we did not close outside of this range. Even though we wicked it through, that makes this level very weak. But since we closed inside the range and not outside the range, this is still a valid supply zone, and this is still valid until we break through it. Okay, so we're gonna mark this down, or I'm gonna mark this down as the daily supply level, and now we have our daily demand and supply zone. And since this is an uptrend, I am looking for buys because I do expect all these supply zones to get broken. And if you entered at this supply zone, well, you're in a good spot. You're not in drawdown, you're in profit. If you got out right here, you would have made your profits, or if you still held because you think that the price is going to continue going up, it could very well do so. But it's best to just get out at the most recent supply zone. Okay, but let's go down to the 4-hour, and on the 4-hour we do have this level right here, and what you can see on this demand level is that it is a zone on top of a zone. So we have the daily 4-hour correlation, zones on top of zones. We came in already, touched this demand level, but then once we come back into this price level, we come back where the daily and the 4-hour overlap each other, and this is a stronger level of support or a stronger level of demand, because when you have a correlating zone, that means it's a stronger level of price, right? Stronger level of support, because think of this as like a barrier. It's more enforced, it's a stronger barrier, it's a stronger level to break through, or it's a harder level to break through, because of the amount of demand at this price level. So the darker that these areas get, the more stronger it's gonna be. And for supply, this is a supply level. It's not the best supply level. Technically 1, 2, 3, all these 3 candlesticks are supply levels, but I drew this one out because it is a green candlestick, and this means that we had the low, and then we had the high. So this is a retracement. This is a retracement candlestick, and we came in, we wicked out, but we still respected this price level on the 4-hour, and this is still a valid supply zone. And we have zones on top of zones, just like this one, zones on top of zones, stronger level of supply, stronger level of resistance, and we came out of the supply zone. And I guess you could say that this is also demand. Technically, yes, it is demand, but on this time frame, I'm not really interested in this demand level, because this is a demand level, and we have an impulse, balance, impulse, and then an impulse, balance, or an impulse, balance, 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 and impulse. So these are all balancing candles, but since it's an impulse, balance, impulse to the upside, even though these are basing candles, this is a demand level still, but not a really good demand level. I would not trade that. Maybe in the 1 hour if we have better structure. And well, yeah, I mean, we do have this demand level, but this demand level is a retracement, is a retest of this level, and then this level is a retest of this level. So I mean, you can see that there's a bunch of demand levels, but I don't draw all of these demand levels because they're not important to me. They're weak. They're very weak levels, right? Even though we react from them, I'm not taking trades from them. Those are terrible trades, right? And you know, looking up and then to the left, this is our supply zone, and that is a very good supply zone on the 1 hour. Mark this down as the 1 hour supply. And we came in, made the top wick on the higher time frame, and then we came back into this range, closed inside this range, and came out and closed outside this range, this supply level on the higher time frame. And our most recent supply level is actually this one. This is supply, and it's a zone on top of zones on top of zones. So this is still a pretty strong level of supply. So this is going to be our 1 hour supply. This one has already been hit. Plus it's not even relevant to me anymore, so I'm just going to delete it. So this is our most recent level. So we have the 4 hour, the daily, and now the 1 hour correlating with one another, forming a stronger level of supply and resistance. We are currently inside this little demand level, but these are all weak demand levels, so I'm not going to draw any of them in. And then, oh, look at this. We have this impulse, balance, impulse area of institutional buying, right? And this is our 1 hour demand level, and it is on top of daily, 4 hour, and now there's a 1 hour correlation. And where do we come back into? Right where all three levels overlap each other, right? Zones on top of zones. And I love zones on top of zones because this forms a stronger area of support. And look what happens. We come in and then we come out into the supply level, right? And you could have got out right here, or out right there, or out at this supply level up here. Either way, you have to take profits along the way. And this would have been if I took the trade like right there, I would have done it like this. Had my TP up here, and that is a 1 to 3. I could have made it a little bit bigger, like a 1 to 5. Let's make it a 1 to 5. That's a 1 to 5, and it does hit 1 to 5. If you traded up to this supply zone, that would have been a 1 to 6. That's a 1 to 6. That's a really good. You're risking one to make. You're risking $100, let's say, to make $600. Not bad, right? Just an example, but you can see how these price levels, these important price levels, are drawn out, and the unimportant ones are not drawn out. I don't draw out all of these, even though this demand zone, well, we came back in, we came out, we came back into this little supply area, and then we dropped. Those are uninteresting levels to me. I only care about the bigger time frame moves, the bigger moves, right? And it works perfectly. It works really good. You can see right here, came in, came out. All right, and that's on QQQ as far as What's next for this pair? I don't know. We could come back into this supply level to continue going down, but then again, where are we gonna go down to? Maybe this, maybe you could take a short like this. So a short position like right there, risking this much maybe to make this much. That would be like a 1, 2, 3 almost. Not worth it. I wouldn't take it. Now if it was something like this, oh that's a 1 to 4, I would trade that. I would take that. But we don't have a clear take profit level anymore. Everything's been hit. Moving on, let's go down. Let's go look at another pair. Let's look at, I don't know, Tesla. See what's going on in Tesla. All right, so same thing. Start off with the daily, the higher time frame, and then look at the line chart. What's our trend? Higher, higher, low, higher, 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 low. Right, we're waiting on the retracement. Where are we going to retrace from? Let's look at the candles. Looking left, what's our most recent demand zone? This is a demand zone, but we already closed outside and then came back in and touched. So not really interesting. And plus the impulsive move out is very weak. So really nothing as far as demand. We have this demand zone which has already been hit. So this is going to be our daily, just so you guys know which zones are which. So that's our daily, and then our supply level. It would be this one, but look at all these. So this is a balanced candlestick. This is a basing candlestick. This is a basing candlestick. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3 basing candles inside of the supply level. I just draw out the most recent, but this is still a pretty good level because look at the impulsive move out. That's a big impulsive move out, right? This is where the move originated from to the downside, breaking through oppositional leg ins. I also look at this. I look at the move out. I look at how many oppositional leg ins it broke. It broke through 1. It broke through 2. Broke through 3 just from this candlestick, and then we have the first retracement over here. And then look at this. We come back into this little supply zone down here, and then we continue pushing price down. We come back up and we push price down again, and look at this. We have demand down here, right? And when we come back into demand, this is when price pushed up again. Pushed up, came down, came inside of supply, came out, came inside of demand, came out, came back, came out, came back. Right, all this stuff, right, happening from these levels. So, you know, once you practice looking at supply and demand, you could see how structured the market really is. Because what supply and demand is, or how my strategy works, is I trade institutional order flow, okay, which means that I am trading with the banks. I trade how the banks trade. And the good thing about supply and demand is that you can see where big banks, financial institution, hedge funds, the big money players are getting in and getting out. Because what the market is it's price and time, and you're seeing what happened with price at a certain time. At this time, price consolidated, and on the next day, it exploded to the upside. And it exploded from this little basing candle down here. This is a basing candle. This is a strong basing candle. This is a strong demand level. And you can see we came in once and then came out. And where did we come back into? Oh, look, supply. This is supply, right? This is supply on the daily. The daily demand, daily supply. Where did we come back into? Oh, we came into daily demand to continue going up into supply. Once we come into supply, we push price down, come back into demand for a second time. And look at this, guys. Let's go down to the 4-hour. And on the 4-hour, you can see, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. We have a zone on top of a zone. The daily 4-hour correlation. Where do we come back into? Right where they overlap each other. Where do we come out? Boom. We break through the supply, since this is still an uptrend at this point. I do expect all these supply zones to get broken. You could have taken profit at this level, right? Or you could have taken profit as soon as you came back into the supply zone again, because or you could have kept adding positions along the way, like down here you could have came in again, up down there to continue going for buys, and then you come back down and you form new structure, and we have this little demand level right here. the daily that we were just looking at. So I'm gonna draw that out for the 4-hour. And on the 4-hour, we have daily 4-hour correlation. We come back into this demand level, and then look what happens. We come back into the supply zone, we break through it, and we come into this supply zone, and we come out. Right? So let me erase all this. I mean, you could see how the market is formed. You just have to look at different time frames. You just have to understand, what makes a good supply or demand level. And there's just a bunch of things that you have to look at, or I look at a bunch of things. I look at the time spent at a certain price level. I look at the impulsive moves. I have a bunch of different rules, and I have a bunch of different things that I look at for confirmation, right? But anyways, back to my original analysis. Like, this is all old structure. None of this is important, anything over here, even though it worked perfectly. It worked perfectly the first time. Now, if we were to come back into those price levels again, since these levels have been touched so many times and they're pretty beat up, I'm not interested in any of them. I'm not really interested in any level as of right now on Tesla. Like, nothing. Everything has already been hit. Like, this demand level has already been hit. This supply zone has already been hit. There's nothing over here as for a supply. Let me go back to a higher time frame level. And I mean, all the way up here, we have something all the way up here, but that's too far off. I'm not interested in any of that. Back to the 4-hour. Yeah, nothing there. I mean, we do have this demand level, I guess you can. I guess, yeah, I'll just draw it out for right now, just so you guys can know that we are inside this demand level right here, and we came out, right? We closed outside. Since this is an uptrend, we could continue going to the upside actually and break through the supplies. Since it's an uptrend, I do expect all supply zones to get broken. I don't expect us to come back down here at all. I would not trade this though. I would wait for this to get broken, and then I would wait for new structure to form, and then wait for my entry. So something like this could happen like on Monday when the market opens, like, or next week, however how fast, depends on how fast this market moves. It could do something like this where we break through supply, we form demand inside of supply, and then we come back down here, and then we continue going up into, I don't know, demand supply over here, right? So something like this could happen. Okay, but as of right now, there is nothing for me to trade on Tesla. I would not trade any of this. We have this supply zone right here. It's a zone on top of a zone, so this is going to be the 1-hour supply. Mark that down. What? 1 hour. And then we have our demand level. That's not really demand. I'm not really gonna draw that. That's not demand. It's not what I look for in a demand or supply level zone. Is if the body of the candlestick is less than 50% from wick to wick. And all right, let's just see. So from wick to wick, it is 56%, and then the body is 34%. So 34 times 2 is 68. So yeah, that is not less than 50% from wick to wick. That's not a supply zone. That is not even a demand zone. I mean, and then everything over here is just not interesting to me at all. We already came in and hit all these levels. A smaller time frame, nothing, right? There's really nothing for me to trade on Tesla, so I'm just gonna wait for a new structure to form. I mean, this is the only thing that's actionable right now, but the amount of profit is only almost $3, and then the risk is $2.30. That's not even 1-to-1. I'm not even trading that. I would not take that. Now I could trade it like this, expecting the breakout, but that's risky trading. Because what if they form new supply in here again and then push price down? Something like that could happen. But yeah, none of these levels are really interesting to me. There's no overlap, there's no zones on top of zones on these levels, there's no big impulsive move. We spent a lot of time at this price level too. The risk to reward is not even worth it. So yeah, this zone is not a good level to buy from, and this zone is not a good level to sell from. So I wouldn't sell from here, or I wouldn't buy from here. I would just wait to see what price happens, what price tells me, and then wait to get into the trade. All right. Now I think that is gonna be it for now. I just wanted to make a quick video on supply and demand, and just talk about how I draw up my levels and how I trade my strategy. I do plan on making more informational video, a little bit more educational for new traders out there. I'm gonna come out with like a free mini course just explaining the basics, because if you're new to trading, then it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming. Like, there's a lot of people who view things differently. There's a lot of different trading strategies that you can use. There's a bunch of different perspectives on how people view the markets. But if you understand just the basics of trends and price action and candlesticks and all that kind of stuff, if you understand how price moves, then trading is going to be easy. Like, this is a very learnable skill. Like, it took me 9 months. Actually, I've been doing this for 9 months now, and I am just starting to understand the markets. But it takes time. Like, it does not take a month. It does not take 2 months. It does not take an hour of your day every day. It takes a lot of time. Like, I have been studying the markets every single day since I found out about trading. I've been on the markets every single day. I've been trying to learn. I've been watching YouTube videos. I've been buying courses. I lost a lot of money as well. Like, guys, like, trading is going to either make or break you. This is not going to be easy. It's going to take time. You have to be patient. There's going to be people who don't even believe in you, who's not going to believe in you. And I've went through it all. I've hit the lowest point in my life, right? And I've been through so much shit, like people not believing in me. This is a very lonely journey. Nobody's gonna understand the vision other than you, and I have a vision. I know that trading could take me very far in my life, and I see trading as the only way that I can do it. Like, I really have a vision for myself, and I really am trying everything to make my dreams come true. Like, trading shouldn't be the only form of income for anybody. Like, this is very risky, and it is a very good way to make money, but trading should be used something to make money quickly, if you learn the skill, if you know the skill, and it allows you to have money to invest into other things. So that's what really I want to do with trading, make money from trading, and then use those profits to invest it into other things like real estate or other businesses and stuff like that. And I'm working towards that. But yeah, I do plan on making this channel grow. I have a lot, planned out for this channel. I want to make motivational videos. I want to make educational videos. I want to make fun little videos. I want to do live streams and all this sort of stuff. But it's gonna take time. It takes time for anybody out there that's new to trading. Everything is out there. You just have to look for it, and you just have to put in the time. Like, this is going to take a lot of time. This is going to be a lonely journey for you. And it's just the amount of work that you put in, you're going to get out of. It depends on how hard you work for what you want to do, and that goes for anything in life. But anyways, guys, this is gonna be it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys could leave some feedback as well and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. I do plan on making a lot more videos and getting better at making videos too. So with that said, have a good day, everybody, and DC Trades out.